Let's get constitutional attorney Andrew Lieb in here. Andrew, you live and work in New York. Does an indictment automatically mean a prosecution?
Yeah, the power to indict is the power to destroy. And based on Alvin Bragg's own statement, they're working on Donald Trump's surrender right now. Now, whether that prosecution goes to the end or whether it's dismissed or withdrawn at any time, no, we don't know what's going to happen.
Understood. So he might go full bore. He may not. We'll see. He just mentioned a possible surrender, Alex. I know people have been on, plane watch to see, is Donald Trump's private jet? Is it moving? Is it not? At this point, I don't think it has. Do we expect a surrender? I mean, being fingerprinted, mugshot, all of that?
That's likely what's being coordinated behind closed doors right now with the NYPD and the Secret Service. This is something that is obviously uncharted territories, not just for these departments, but in general. There is no playbook for this right now. He will likely have to go through at least the fingerprinting and the mugshot portion of this, whether when he's arraigned, he has to wear handcuffs. There might be certain exceptions made in these kinds of situations. There's obviously extenuating circumstances here. But we haven't really gotten any of that information yet. It's likely something that is being negotiated right now. They also have to negotiate or figure out the security protocol here. I mean, just when we thought that there was the potential for an arrest, it was a zoo downtown just between the few protesters, people who just work in the area trying to get through, and of course the amount of press that was there because of the huge national interest there. So there's a level of security protocols that also need to be discussed to make sure that he can be transported into this courthouse safely.
Haley, you were describing how the White House is not elbowing their way into this conversation. Probably for personal reasons. We know the president right now is being investigated for, the handling of classified documents. His son is under investigation as well for financial matters. So they probably have multiple reasons for not sounding off on these things. But are Biden surrogates talking?
Chance, we've seen a clear delineation with the Democrats' view of this, really taking an approach that no one is above the law. And we have heard some Democrats say that. Again, the administration is quiet on this tonight. But when you look along the political lines, the DNC really taking the moment to seize on a criticism of Republican agenda. I want to read you a quote from the committee's press secretary stating, quote, "No matter what happens in Trump's upcoming legal proceedings, it's obvious the Republican Party remains firmly in the hold of Donald Trump and MAGA Republicans. We will continue to hold Trump and Republican candidates accountable for the extreme MAGA agenda that includes banning abortion, cutting Social Security and Medicare, and undermining free and fair elections." And so again, Chance, while the White House isn't talking, while the administration is quiet, you do see Democrats again reiterating a view that no one is above the law, and the DNC taking a moment to criticize Republicans here, Chance.
Andrew, legally speaking, what we just heard there from Haley via the DNC saying we're going to hold them accountable. And you hear Michael Cohen, Trump's former lawyer, you hear Stormy Daniels' lawyer saying no one is above the law. So tell us, is Trump being pursued the exact same as every other businessman who has marked an expenditure incorrectly? In this case, allegedly to hide something, but it is a bookkeeping crime if it is one.
So, Chance, it's not just a bookkeeping crime if they're going with a felony. You see, falsifying of business records is the standard bookkeeping crime, but it has this tie-in. Are you trying to do it with an intent to commit another crime? And that other crime, we don't know because it's sealed, but it appears to be election fraud. Now, it appears to be about being an election. So how is it like another ordinary businessman? I'm a businessman. I haven't run for election. So it's a very specific crime specifically for Trump. But no, I don't think they're just going after Trump. I think that they put Michael Cohen in cuffs in jail for a very similar crime.
Okay, understood. So you're saying, in other words, you almost have to be a politician to have this very, very specific situation, because if they do go the felony route, it's not only the underlying alleged crime of a bookkeeping, not error, but let's say intentional error, but that it was then made more serious because it was in the political realm. Is that right?
That's 100% right. Although it's not just a person that's running for election, it's someone in their orbit. So Michael Cohen wasn't running for election, but he was complicit in this. And if you remember, there was an unidentified co-conspirator, and we all know that to be Trump. So it wasn't just going on a witch hunt for Trump. Michael Cohen's days in jail tell you otherwise.
Okay. Alex, you cover national politics day in and day out, and we saw Representative Elise Stefanik, a rising star in the party, a staunch defender of the former president, call on people to organize, people to protest. She didn't spell out exactly what that would look like. Are we seeing protesters?
In New York, we are not. There are no protesters really outside of the courthouse right now, I'm told. As Alvin Bragg was leaving about little less than an hour ago, there were no protesters out there, and there really haven't been for the last week and a half that we have been really at the courthouse almost every day following this story. We saw on the first Monday after the former president posted on Truth Social that he was going to be arrested, there was this big planned protest with the Young Republicans Club of New York, and only 12 people showed up in that area. So that was the biggest one that we saw in over a week. If people were showing up to protest, which don't get me wrong, there were definitely individual people there, they still never really amounted to roughly more than a dozen people, I would say. And so when that's the case, I mean, I want to point out we are obviously in a very liberal part, in a place that has a lot of animosity towards the former president. So that is, you have to look at it through the lens of that. But in this area, no, we are not seeing those protests.
Okay. Alex Miller, Haley Bull, Andrew Lieb, thank you so much. And if you stick around tonight, we're going to talk with you guys again in a few minutes coming up here.